she's going to tell you where. I mean, I suppose that in Google Drive or something, she's going to upload all the sessions. So if you're absent, please go there and and find the sessions and watch the videos, right? Or if you missed something, if if you want to understand the concept, okay, in a better way or something, great. Yeah. Okay, so before we go on to the next student to introduce themselves, um, I want to tell you about how we are going to. Wait a second. Yeah. How we are going to, how I'm going to do about the classes attendance and those things, no, which I'm sure that you want to know. Um, well, like I said, we only have 2 sessions, which is easier, right? We're going to try and do as much as possible on Mondays because we have 3 hours, right? And so Thursday we can do maybe a little review, and then maybe we can do those practical things, like you guys doing a presentation, or like you guys maybe performing something for the rest of the class, etc. Okay. Um, and so Thursday, no, I mean, between Monday and Thursday, we have 3 days. And then from Thursday to the next class, we have another 3 days. So that gives you plenty of time to read the documents, to organize things. No, it's not going to be enough with only one reading, with only me explaining or me reading something. It's always important that you check your documents, that you check the documents, that you watch the videos, like I said before. Um, and so I know that there will be times when you cannot attend classes, but I understand. I'm practically a guy that likes to think that people are responsible, okay, for themselves. I'm not. I. I mean, I know that if you care as much as I know you care about your career, you're going to do your very best. And so I would simply expect everybody to attend. The classes, as you know, are going to be recorded, so I will know, you will know who is in class, who is not in class, right? But if you're going to be absent one class for some reason, okay, I would expect from you to let me know, yeah, so I can do something. Maybe that day we have a quiz or presentation, okay, and so just let me know, no, of course. Um, I would also expect you guys to understand that once the class we start the class, it can be a little, no, a little annoying, let's say, that if someone is the host, to have to give everyone access and all that, right? So I would expect most of you, or if not all of you, to be to start the class on time, no? Right. And like I said, if you miss any class, you have the videos, right? Of course, you cannot miss the day of the exam. You cannot miss the day that we have a quiz, okay? Because that will originate a very big problem, no? Right? I'm sure you understand that. if you're part of a group and the group is doing a presentation, of course, if you're not there, you're going to affect your group, because your group is counting on you to to perform your part of the task, or they trust that you have the material, etc. So okay, but I trust your best judgment, no? And when we do the group work, most of the times it will be the groups with people you know, okay, with people you trust, and so um, that way you can make sure that the group is going to do their best. Great. I would like to I'm going to give someone access to. I need someone to share the document because I can't do it in my cell phone. I share. Let me see. Christian, where are you here in the list? Christian Cajas, yeah. Entonces, you're going to be the host now, no? The host. Sí.
Professor, I am
Uh-huh.
using my cell phone too because
Your
my
cell phone too.
laptop is not working,
Oh,
so
okay.
I
Okay.
don't know how to share.
Yeah, never mind. Never mind. So let's change
Sorry.
that. No, that's okay. It's but you see now, Christian, now because you are the host, can you change the host from there?
Okay.
Yeah. Please, we need someone who's working with a computer, a good computer, and I want you to share the syllabus.
Yes, Prof, I have the document on my computer.
Yeah. Yeah, please. So Christian, give her access. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Change the anfitrión. Yeah. Mm. So what we're going to do now is until we finish this session, okay? And if we don't finish the session, I would expect you to keep reading the document at home. No? We're going to analyze the syllabus, okay? The syllabus. Yeah. So who is our host now? Yeah, great, great. Okay, so now you see the syllabus, okay? So what I want you to take to look at is the contents of units 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. We're going to have 3 units in the first bimester, and after the 3 units, we have a review, okay? So it's not really unit 4, it's only 3 units, and then the last 2 weeks maybe, we do a review of those 3 units. The first one is language assessment and testing. No? So obviously we need to know the differences between assessment and testing, and also evaluation, the types of testing, the purposes of assessment, alternatives in assessment in the classroom, and standards-based assessment and standardized testing. No? So something very important, and concepts that when you work in a school, you and terminology that you already use, no? that you should know. That you should know. Okay. Of course, I have a complementary material. I have another book. Well, I'll send you well, I don't have a link for that book. I have the name. So if you can find it, if you have it, it would be great. Basically, what you see here is what we have in this book. No, the name of the book is. Let me see if I can find it here. Well, it's not here, but I have it in my other document. Um, assessment for, where's that? Let me see that. Let me see. I have my book right here with me. Let me just get it because I can't find a document. Yeah, it's language assessment for classroom teachers. Yeah, if you happen to have this book, perfect. Now, lucky you, because this is what we're gonna use as the reference book. No. Okay, and so I sent Christian a link. He should be forwarding you that message later, so you see the link. If you click in the link, you should be able to read the book. You have like an ebook version, no? Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, Prof.
Yeah, sorry, I had another problem with my internet. Okay, so if you have the book, great. You can follow everything that is in the book here. If not, you have the link. Okay, if somebody has the book and is kind enough to, I don't know, to maybe take photos or, well, I also have the book. If you personally, somebody needs maybe photos of some specific pages or something, you can tell me, because I have the original book with me. Great. And there's another book that well, Christian knows the link. He has the link in his WhatsApp. He will send it to you too. It's called Language Assessment Principles, no? Principles, and so that can be also very useful for you. Great. And so now going back to the content syllabus. Yeah. Well, you know all the other details here, no? Well, maybe it's important to take a look at the evaluation section. Abby, if you can go to page 2. Well, it's the same system that we used in the last semester. Okay, 30% or 6 points for evaluación formativa. Okay, and then 7 points for trabajo individual, and then 7 points for the exam, no, for the final exam. So that hasn't changed, and well, there's nothing much to say here. Yeah. After that, you have the name of the book, no, the bibliography. Bachman is the name of the first book. Bachman Lille. And the other book is Language Assessment Principles and Classroom Practices. You have the links for both of them. Right. Okay, what else do we have here? Yeah, and so going back to the lessons, no, to the units, then we have unit 2, which is classroom-based language assessment. And this corresponds exactly with Unit 2 in the book, no? Unit 2 in the book. So we're going to learn a language teaching and classroom-based language assessment, modes of classroom-based assessment, using classroom-based language assessments, okay, interpretation, etc. No, Unit 2 is probably the longest lesson in the first bimester. Okay, and then in Unit 3, we're going to take 2 weeks for that. We have principles of language assessment. Okay, and we're going to see the 5 principles of language assessment. No, that's corresponds with Unit 3 here in the book. The 5 principles. Okay, and if you look at weeks 7 and 8, is a review of units 1 to 3. Okay, and we're going to try and do some practice, no, maybe with real quizzes, with real documents, maybe with things that you have used in your class. Okay, so that's in the last 2 weeks is when we do maybe the practical part. No? Right, on the right of this syllabus, you have prácticas de aplicación y experimentación, no? So I would expect you guys to do this in well, for example, because we have one class Monday and the other one Thursday, so in between, no, you can take some time and try and do the activities that are suggested here. Also, maybe Thursday, I can give you the last 30 minutes. Maybe if you have, for example, a group work, I'll give you those 30 minutes for you to organize and do your PAE, digamos, no? Your PAE. So within the second hour of Thursdays. So you can work on these activities. No? For example, in units 1 and 2, we have, for example, identifying the main ideas in the summary in the book by making a list of the tasks that belong to testing and the ones that belong to assessment. No? So in a document that I sent you today, I think it's the second or third document, you have, for example, como un resumen, no, of the lesson of the unit, let's say, and then you have in Word, of course, you have the chart. So, for example, you can get together and fill in the charts with what each activity requests. Okay. That's about the first bimester. Okay, good. Now at this point, I would like to have somebody else introduce themselves, so we can have a little break from the document. Please. Okay, so I'd like to hear from one of you guys about your job, if you're doing some teaching, if you've done some assessment in your classes, how do you manage teaching and assessing? Please, somebody, anybody. Okay, please, and Andrea, Ruiz.
Yes.
Andrea? Yes.
Well,
Hi,
as
Andrea.
you saw, my name is Andrea Luis. I had some experience when the situation was normal before all
Pandemic.
of this. Yes. And I have some kind of assessment. I have to do some work with assessment when I was in Cent- Central Técnico High School. Yeah.
Okay,
So
great.
I had to assist my teacher, and he asked
Yeah,
me
great.
to do some kind of an individual assessment to
Yeah,
test
great.
the oral skills of the students. So for me, it was kind of hard because you have to assess all, and you have to assess one by one. But
One by
at
one.
the end,
Yes.
I consider it was a great experience because it helped me a lot to do my job, to do my work
Okay,
with
great.
them. And also, I think that I could help the students to focus on the abilities that they had, and also the weaknesses to work on that. So,
Great.
yes,
Mhm. Great. Thank you, Andrea. You
thank you.
you have you have touched some very sensible points here, no? In helping them, doing it one by one. Okay. Uh, Very good elements, no? Of course, we would like, no, in an ideal world, we would like to have the time to assess all of our students one by one, no? Right? And maybe that is our challenge as teachers, no? And you've done, like you said, you've as you did this job, you discovered things, maybe skills that maybe you didn't know that you had, and maybe you learn that there are things that you need to learn and maybe go deeper into, right? And so, and well, I'm sure that your experience is what most of you guys have have experienced or will experience in the future, no? Um, and so, thanks for sharing that. Um, as we hear each and every one of your stories and your experience in teaching, we see that the need, no, to know and to exchange concepts, to exchange experiences, and help one another, you know, with what we have learned and have experienced. Great. Thank you very much. And so, and I would like to ask Andrea, no, you're still there. What is then, in your words, assessment?
Well, assessment for me, it's a kind of evaluation, but it is more than just apply a test to a student, no, because you have to see more things. You have to consider the abilities, some strategies to assess the students. So this is a kind of, I don't know if I have to say methodology, maybe it's something different, but yeah, this is assessment for me. This is a kind of evaluation, but it takes um, it takes more time, and I think more things than just a simple test. Maybe not
Exactly.
like just a written test or maybe just oral tests, because you have to evaluate your student. You have to see
Exactly.
what are the abilities, what are
Exactly.
the things that they know. So you have to consider more things.
Yeah. Yes. Their weaknesses, their strengths, all that. No?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You would agree that it's a process. No, it's not something that happens just one day. No.
Yes.
Um, thank you very much. So, well, from what Andrea has said, and we could give a lot of examples. No, testing and assessment are two different things. No, at some point, yeah, when you read the document, at some point you might say that, for example, some kind of test is in a way a form of assessment, but this is not in general, no? Assessment, like Andrea said, no, would include the things that you do every day. It's an on. Can you guys hear me now? Can you hear me?
Yes, Prof.
Yeah, sorry, I'm still having problems with my internet. So what I was saying is that assessment is an ongoing process, no, that involves the use of a variety of techniques, strategies, methodologies that teachers use. Okay, it's not just one thing that you do at the end of the week or at the end of the unit. It's something that you do it, let's say, on daily basis. No? Something that you do formally or informally. No, we will see that those concepts in the next in the days to come. No, it's sometimes, for example, offering a comment, asking a student a question, and then offer some feedback and see if the student can answer in a better way, if he can answer using the correct structure. Okay, and so it's all that, no, and it's a component, no, of teaching, no, as you're teaching. At the same time, if you're very skillful, you can teach and assess. A skillful teacher should do that, no? Right, and sometimes when teachers have then a lot of experience, they do it mechanically or unconsciously. No? Unconsciously, right. On the other hand, for example, tests are maybe belong more to the administrative procedure, no? That is applied at a specific time with a grade, no, with the content that the students have to study. Something like, for example, it could be a midterm, a final exam, a formal test, etc. But it has to do more with the administrative sense of the word. No? It's usually in paper, but although it can be now, for example, electronically, it can be online, etc. Right? And some authors, for example, argued that, for example, testing, in a way, is some form or some kind of assessment, no? Which is more of a summative nature, no? Summative nature. So we're going to see formative and summative in the days to come, no? In this next sessions, no? And so that's why it might appear confusing, no? And many teachers, no, confuse sometimes testing with assessment, and we could say that there are teachers that only have tests. No, for example, they say, well, we finish this, we have a test, and we have a test, final test, and they don't know, or they don't want to, maybe because they ignore this, no, they don't do much assessment, no, and forgetting a very important component of the language class. Okay, great. And so I invite you to read, for example, some information that I'm sharing now with you is in this document called Unit 1, Theme 1. No, it's a document that I put it I uploaded it to the WhatsApp. No? So because our next class is on Thursday, please open it, read it. It's a 6-page document. No, you can read it one day and then reflect on that or read it a little bit tomorrow and then Thursday and or Wednesday, as you wish. No, I would like you that for the next class. No, I'd like you to be ready. No, that I'd like you to have already read this 6-page document so we can discuss some interesting concepts. No, and basically similarities and differences. No, among these terms. No, evaluation, testing, and assessment. Okay, great. And so to finish, we have about 5 minutes. I would like to have one last student to introduce themselves. Okay, and after that, we will do the closing for today, right? Of course, your little homework, yeah, llamémoslo así, will be to finish reading looking at the syllabus, right? Okay. And if you have questions about the syllabus, you can ask on Thursday. And your second task is to read this document, no? Unit 1, Theme 1, no? First bimester se llama. First bimester, Unit 1, Theme 1. Yeah. Okay, so please, our last volunteer. Anybody? Santiago Tapia?
Yes, Prof, I'm here.
Okay, great, Santiago. So please.
Well, Prof, I think the last time I was in a classroom, you know, it was about a year ago.
A year ago,
in Central Técnico High School.
Okay, yeah.
And it was a really great experience because I had the opportunity to work with a great teacher. Her name is her name is let me I don't remember right now, but well, I think this experience was really interesting for me because this teacher assess her students in a way, in a formal way, like Cambridge, you know, like she used to get the PET or CAT format to assess her students. And I think the format, and I think this is very important because most of teachers try to just put some questions in a paper. Sometimes it's not
the typical quiz, no?
Yeah, the typical quiz. But this teacher used this kind of format from PET or CAT, and I think it was really useful for her students. And I think that's what can I say right now? It's important to know how to assess to our students. Mm-hmm.
Yes, of course it is. Thank you very much. No, that's very interesting, and I agree with you. No, using these formats of CAT, PET, etc., prepares the students, in their future when they want to have these international tests. No, and you know that these tests are more realistic. They they're elaborated by professionals. No, so it's a good example of what assessment, or in this case testing, because it's more like a test than it is, is like, or should be like. Great. Okay, so we're coming to the end of the session. I have 30 seconds. I would like to leave this question for the next class. it's what is in the paper in our first document here, to think about what happened in the past. No, how did your teachers assess you or evaluate your classes? No, think about this and discuss this in the next class. Okay. Think about how they did it, no, and how you think it should have been. I'm sure that you're going to find a lot of differences, no? One thing is what you would like them to have done,